Hi, my name's Christopher David Mitchell, and I'm back. I am back from a 5-night meditation retreat in the middle of nowhere in the countryside of England. I've hopefully got a few things to say on why I went in the first place, what it was like, and what I learned from it. I would love to share these experiences with you, and I really hope it's going to help in some way. So this is going to be an exciting one. Let's get into it. Okay, so why did I even go? Why does a person feel the need to say, do you know what, I'm going to book a meditation retreat? And for me, I've been working pretty hard on my business lately. I started a company, the Recording Artist Program, at the beginning of the year. Great time to start a company in the middle of a pandemic. And we've been really successful. We're very lucky. I'm very grateful to have an amazing business partner. But still, I found myself saying to my business partner, Ollie, I was saying, we've gone all year, we've been successful, but we haven't stopped for a second. I feel like I haven't even enjoyed the journey as much as I should have done. And I didn't want to keep going on week to week, month to month with setting goals within my coaching practice or my business. And so I said, I sort of was aware of this and said, hey, do you mind? I just need to take some time out. I need to take some time out to reflect, to try and be a bit more in the present moment and enjoy the journey. Have a bit more time to be and not to keep doing. And so I pushed myself into this meditation retreat. And another why I did it was because it was out of my comfort zone. I'm always trying to grow and evolve as a person. Personal development is hugely important to me. That was the thing that saved me through my health crisis. So I'm always looking to do that. And I know that to evolve and grow as a person, I'm always going to have to challenge myself. I'm always going to have to open myself up to new experiences. Things that feel a little bit uncomfortable, like going on a meditation retreat. Another reason why I wanted to push myself to do this meditation retreat was because, again, I'm a big believer in personal development, and having studied it and studied human psychological development, I already knew that and we'll get on this, quote unquote hippies here were more evolved than most of the business and success people. Now that might be crazy for you to think, and I remember the first time I heard that from someone, I was like, what? But I studied it more and I was like, oh right, these sort of quote unquote hippies, and we'll talk about this more about what the people were like, they are more developed as human beings than, people who are just chasing success and money and materialism. Yeah. The hippies are more evolved. I knew this, and I knew I had to sort of open myself up to this chapter of my life. So that was another reason why I went. And when I say hippies, by the way, I just want to say that I'm being absolutely kind, because the people on this meditation retreat were absolutely lovely. So where was the retreat? So it was at Sharpham House, which I highly recommend, in Devon for 5 nights. Beautiful grounds. It's sort of like, if you are going to be in a place of rest, recuperation and meditation, this was like easy mode, because if you can't be relaxed there, so it was a beautiful environment out in nature. And you just don't get to experience that as much as you want when you live in that sort of London life, as it were. So it was a beautiful place. I highly, if you're in England, anywhere, it's worth traveling to. Sharpham House in Devon. That's why I actually went. So what was it like? Was it just full-on meditation? No, it wasn't. It's a meditation retreat, but some of them, if anyone's heard of Vipassana meditation retreats, they are literally 7-8 hours a day just sitting there meditating. I've not done one of them. I probably will, again, to challenge myself in the future. But this was quite a varied schedule of definite parts of meditation, sort of self-reflection, self-awareness, mindfulness type exercises, and moments of just walking out in nature, appreciating nature. So there was various elements to the schedule, which was loose because it's a retreat. But just to answer that, it wasn't just meditation, but I had some beautiful moments in the other aspects of the retreat. At one point we were doing sort of self-reflective writing exercises, journaling really, but without sort of planning anything, just writing, particularly with very important questions that we were asked to ask ourselves, which is sort of, what is most meaningful to me? What can I do that could help the world? I was sort of journaling to the point where I was sort of just putting out my raw, from the heart feelings down on paper without thinking, and there was some beautiful insights that happened there. Also, just walking out in nature, there was times where I spent hours just by the lake. I started climbing trees and stuff, which leads me on to another point actually, which was I felt like this meditation retreat did bring out, and when I say inner child, I don't mean that in like a negative way. And it's funny actually, because just the awareness here of me saying like a child, like it's a negative, but there's moments of like happiness that you get when you're very sort of seeing things for the first time in childhood that we were asked to sort of look at again. And it is really fulfilling and amazing to sort of just do things that you may have done as a kid when you're just exploring, when you're being adventurous, when you're sort of seeing things for the first time again and getting back into that mindset. And let me tell you, there's a lot of sort of happiness and joy and bliss that does come from that. So one thing it was like as well was finding and sort of exploring those adventurous, blissful times of being a kid again, which again you don't do in a modern society world, when you're dealing with business and stuff. But here's some of the big learnings here and takeaways I want to give you, so you have a tangible sort of hopefully reason to think, well, why should I explore this? Yes, it's nice to have time out, but what is meditation really going to do for me here? And you're right to think that, because it's counterintuitive, isn't it, to think, well, I'll just sit there, meditate and do nothing, and that will grow me the most as a person. But it's true, because we're in a society where we're constantly getting external validation from things, whether it's in your business, you get more subscribers, you get a bit of money, you go on a date with an attractive woman, etc., etc. What meditation does is it completely brings you and your mind into the present moment without any external distractions, even if they're pleasant external distractions. So it teaches you to be in the present moment. And how many of us are in the present moment? Like I say, with my business, all I was thinking about was, how are we going to sort out next week? What's the schedule for next month? How are we getting more singers to be involved in our recording artist program? Or what should I do with my website, etc., etc. It's all future planning with a lot of our lives. But to let that go is very fulfilling, amazing, and empowering. To let these external thoughts and distractions try and go and try and just feel and be in the present moment. You've got to try it, and it's really, really difficult. Your mind wants to wander off. But to be able to just be in the present moment, what I found was day 1, day 2 was nice, but even after like a consistent 5 full days of doing it, I just had this sense of calm about me. People were talking to me and they were like, you just seem a bit more calm. And I just found myself wandering around sort of like smiling a bit more. I was just a bit happy, enjoying what is, not constantly worrying about what will be, what will happen in the future, or what something happened or did in the past, as it were. And it is a beautiful thing, and I really did feel it. Particularly on the last day, I remember I was just sitting there. And sometimes if you have quite a long meditation practice in a long session, you feel like this buzzy, sort of slightly uplifting, energetic feeling And the more that you do meditate, the more that sort of stays, and it's a beautiful feeling. So I'll talk about this more in the future, but a big takeaway that the happiness that we think is always going to be more business success, more, I don't know, more money, more recognition, a better career. Sometimes that sort of strategy of getting more happiness out there from external things can backfire. And sometimes you just need to accept what is and stay and appreciate the present moment. And what I've found is I'm still doing these things. I'm still shooting a YouTube video. I've not gone, back to the countryside, although I will. But you see it from a different perspective of sort of gratitude and appreciation, because you've spent time to pause and reflect. You spent time to take time out. And just following on from that, you can think of it in another way. If you're not into meditation, you're thinking, I need another example. Well, just think about your phone. Just think about the operating system in the settings on a phone. That is your mind in here. And if the phone is always on, again, it feels like that's good to always be doing stuff, but it needs time to rest. The MacBook Pro needs to shut down every now and then. It needs to reset to be at its best performance. And so a meditation retreat is similar to that again, where by taking the time out to rest, to reflect, to reset, you still go back to your life, but it's with a different sort of better, higher level sort of enjoyment of what you're doing, appreciation of the work you're doing in the world. And again, the people on the meditation retreat were absolutely lovely. They were very authentic. They were able to speak openly about their feelings. They could be vulnerable, but they had boundaries. They were caring. We would all talk and listen to each other. They were just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bunch of people, and some of the happiest I've ever seen. Not the CEOs in London. No. The happiest people I've ever witnessed are the people on this bloody meditation retreat. It was astounding because it changes your sort of worldview and understanding of okay, so the path to being a bit happier in my life isn't necessarily getting more. It's just having time out to reset, to reflect, and learning to quieten down our sort of ego mind that always wants more and appreciate the present moment. I'd highly, highly recommend Sharpham House in Devon. It's a 5-star review if you needed a number. And I will be going back. Not just to that one, but other meditation retreats, because it's nice to get different approaches of going down a slightly more spiritual path, you may say. And I definitely found something that was a new appreciation for life that I've maybe forgotten in the midst of trying to constantly, run around and do things with my career, which I will still do, but hopefully with a new sense of joy and appreciation. So I'd highly recommend trying a meditation retreat, or just before you do that plunge, watch some videos on YouTube or wherever, get some nice basic ideas of what to do. Again, don't procrastinate on that. It's not complicated meditation. But I would highly recommend that you try just for a bit, and just do it for a week or 2 weeks, 20 minutes a day, see how you feel. Because some of this video you might be thinking, well, yeah, whatever. But give it a go. Give it a go, guys, I promise. Okay, that's it for today. If you want to see any more information, there's my website, christopherdavidmitchell.com, and I'll be putting more thoughts on there about my sort of journey into these different aspects of, I'll call it just personal development. And I think it's very important. So please look on the website if you need to, because I'd love to talk more about this in the future. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you. Stick with me for more, and I'll see you very soon. Take care of yourselves.